Hey there, all you beautiful creatures of the moonlight. In today's episode, which is part of a human design series, we talked with Lauren Noble, a human design expert and practitioner. We are finally discussing human design, and Lauren knows all the ins and outs of it. I'm Lauren Leon.
And I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
Oh, yeah. We are a married couple learning how to develop our own intuition, and this is episode 92 of Clairvoyaging. Wayfeather Media presents Clairvoyaging.
Hello, babies.
Feeling good?
Feeling great.
Happy day.
That almost sounded like we had a plan for, like
No.
we practiced this thing.
We never do. Happy day.
They know.
They know it. You guys know us. This is episode 92. By now, you know
That
they are winging it all the time.
You know that we don't know.
You know, we have plans, and then we also don't have plans. So that's
the most accurate thing you've ever said.
Sums up Lauren in a nutshell.
I'm in there too, pal. Dudes. We've been threatening this for a long time.
It's been coming for a while.
And now here it is.
Yeah.
After much delay and much teasing, and you probably have maybe already looked into it, but here we go. In an official capacity, here's the Clairvoyaging 3-part series of what the hell is human design?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited about it. And you probably already know a little bit about us, but get ready to know a little bit about us in the human design context.
Always learning, you know?
Always learning. You know what? Are you ready to find? You probably already know I'm kind of weird and messed up. Just wait till you see that it's part of my design.
So anyway, this episode is going to break down the basics of human design types in this episode. And then next week, we're going to have all of the profiles. And Lauren really does a great job of explaining everything.
Yeah, so it's going to be Lauren for part 1, part 2. And then we have someone named Lori coming for part 3. And Lori is going to get into more of the details of the channels and how that all operates. If you didn't hear our warning last week, if you could do us a favor and go download an app, we use an app called HumDesCom. Just throw it in the App Store. I know it doesn't seem like it makes sense. You're going to need your birthday. You're going to need your time of birth. You're going to need to know where you were born. Hopefully, most of us know that last one. But you might need to ask mommy for the time of birth. Or if you have an app you prefer, just use that. You don't need to use the one we said.
You don't need to use that one.
But the one I said is free. It's really good.
It's very in-depth.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
So, and with that, let's take it away. Part 1 of 3, Human Design.
Let her rip! Lauren, thank you so much for joining us on Clairvoyaging. We're so excited because we've never had a human design expert on our podcast, and we've been threatening it. We've been warning our listeners, and we told them last week to prepare themselves and understand a little bit of their own human design type and profile, just so we could jump right in and you can kind of give us a little bit of explainer. But first, can you give us a little bit of backstory about you and what kind of led you into doing this work?
Yeah. And I just want to say I'm very happy to be here. I bumped into your guys' podcast just, I think, 3 days ago. And anyway, so it felt very meant to be, and I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, man. Cool.
So a bit about me. I found human design in 2019. It was right after my marriage ended, and I found myself as a single mom of 2 and had no idea where to go or who I was. And I kind of threw myself into astrology and manifestation, and it was on a manifestation podcast that they had a human design person on. And she was talking about how the person was a projector, and she was making it seem so empowering and special. And I was like, wow, this is so cool. And I looked at my chart and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a projector too. And from that point, I just like locked onto the system in a way that I haven't really locked on to anything before. Like I wasn't, big into school growing up. I had a hard time remembering things and recalling information. But with human design, it's like everything that I learned, I just absorbed it. And it's like I ended up having like a photographic memory with it where like everything that I learned, I could recall it and see exactly where I learned it. And then when I looked at people's charts, I could memorize their charts. And so I just started researching it like crazy, like listening to podcasts, reading blogs. I bought some of the lectures from the founder. And after a couple of years of just absorbing that and having friends and family members talk to me about it, and I started to just see through the lens of human design, like, oh, well, this is energetically what's happening with you or with your kids. And I could recall their charts in my mind. And I started to see that I was able to get them into a place of more ease and acceptance of themselves and of the other person. And at that point, I started to feel like, okay, I need to invest in this and myself in learning this. And I was also doing relationship coaching on the side. And everyone that came to me, I started to look up the human design and I would just tell them stuff. And it was creating more impact than anything else I had done with people.
Yeah.
So I invested in some courses. I took 3 different ones. And all of them, it felt a bit disappointing because I knew everything already. I had already researched the heck out of the system itself. And I created some friends in the human design community, and I was expressing some frustration. Like, I just want to learn the system deeper. I keep investing in it, and I just feel like this traditional path isn't quite right for me. And I was also noticing, I felt like a lot of people that did go the traditional path, it's like they were saying things like directly quoting the founder, but like that was kind of their limited view. It wasn't this embodied, diverse way that I was seeing the system in the world. Because as I was mentoring people and coaching them and memorizing their charts and observing them, I started to realize that there were so many more nuances than originally what I thought that there were.
Yeah.
And so I had a friend, she was like, okay, this is like super top secret, but there is this file. And she sent it to me. And it had all of the founder's lectures on it, like everything, all of his classes he had ever done, like so much, just in this huge folder that bogged down my phone and my computer. And I just started devouring it. I started going through everything and really like strengthening my foundation in the system and getting to a place of what felt like embodying it and understanding it in a way where it's like the more I learned it, the more I saw the world through that lens, and everything just started firing and connecting. And I went through that entire folder twice. It took me 2 years.
Whoa.
2022 to 2024. And then I stopped doing human design, which I really only did readings for referral. So like friends or family would refer people to me. I taught a couple classes, and I wasn't marketing it because I'm a 1-3, and 1-3s never feel ready. We never feel like we know enough. And I'm curious, Frank, if you feel that way because you're also a first line. There's just this like,
oh my God.
you're like, I don't know enough. Yeah. I don't want to go into the void. There's like this imposter syndrome. So in 2024, I met like the love of my life in 2023. And then I became pregnant with my 3rd child in 2024. And I just kind of put a pause on human design. I stopped researching it, but I still kept seeing the world through that lens and, coaching the people that would come to me. And And then I had my baby, and my husband retired me from my 9 to 5. And I just felt this fire of like, I have to do this again. And I know I'm ready. I've been studying this system for 6 years. And so I like launched my website. I started sharing about it again. I started doing readings again. And it's like the space that I took from it, which I'm a third line like you, Lauren. And so sometimes we just need to like pause a bond and then come back to it. And it's like so refreshing and so empowering to like get back into this bond. And that's how it felt. It just feels like this is like my karma. This is the system that I was meant to learn and master, and how I'm meant to fulfill my purpose.
That's so cool.
I love that.
What
so
a nice
much.
story. Also,
Yeah.
You're a great storyteller also. That was very succinct and like that made sense.
Yeah. It was very linear. And I mean, congrats. Like that baby is very new.
Yeah.
She is, yes. She's 7 months today, actually.
Oh my
and
gosh.
she's my little manifestor child. So manifestors are the initiators, and she initiated me into like a whole different life and initiated our family coming together. And
Oh my gosh.
and it all just happened in such a beautiful, wonderful way.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's
I love
awesome.
that so much.
Just so the audience is aware, let's go over real quickly. I know this is hard because this is a complicated story, but who is the person that created the system?
So his spiritual name was Ra Uruhu. And essentially he had this experience. So he was a 5/1 splenic manifestor, and it's a pretty like woo-woo story. So stay with me when I tell it. But essentially, he describes this encounter. He was living in Ibiza, and he was hiding away from the world. And, you know, fifth lines, which you're a fifth line too, Lauren, like people tend to burn you at the stake. It's like they put you on a pedestal and like they love you or they hate you, or they love you and then they hate you. And a lot of fifth lines I encounter, they get so burned out and paranoid and just tired of the projection field, and they just want to go away. So Ra, he was in Ibiza living a very simple life, and he had this experience where he came home with his dog, and all of a sudden his dog just kind of like fell over. And he said that all of the water like left his body. And it was this like very painful experience. And this voice said, it's time to get to work. And for 7 days, he was like in this trance where the human design system was like being implanted into his body. And it's through all of these different modalities. So astrology, the I Ching, the Kabbalah, the chakra system, and also quantum physics. And it encompasses all of these different modalities together to give you like this energetic blueprint. And when he got the system downloaded, he said at first he just felt like crazy. He's like, who's going to believe this?
Yeah.
But he started to do readings for people and charting them. And people started to realize like, this is really accurate. This is really helpful. And it kind of just started taking off from there.
Was his dog okay? I'm very concerned about the dog. Okay.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry I didn't say that. Yeah, the dog was okay. It like went under this trance too. And so it was like asleep all the time. And he said as soon as the experience ended, all of the water went back into his body and his dog immediately just perked back up again. And it was like, it was over. It's like time like paused while it was being downloaded into his system.
Hold on. The idea of, did he like spring a leak? What are we looking at here? That's a confusing way. That's a confusing thing.
I know. It is, it's like this, but if you're going to learn human design, you got to know the foundation of it and how it came to be.
Yeah.
And, I mean, as somebody who didn't experience it, I have listened to several lectures of him talking about the experience. It is pretty like, esoteric and pretty like out there. And so regardless of, I feel, if there are certain things that maybe he left out or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the system, I feel, speaks for itself beyond how it came to be.
Yeah. It's really funny to know how it started and to explain that to someone like my very science-minded brother. I would never really tell him where it came from because he'd be like, well, okay, I don't believe any of this now. But
yes,
we're in the world of like, intuition and spirits and, all that. So we talk about downloads and all that.
Yeah.
But it is funny to like when you do, your logical brain goes like, okay.
As him being a 5-1, there is so much projection that goes on to fifth lines too. And you see in the human design community, people either really put him on a pedestal or they hate him. Like people have really pushed against him because like he had a background in marketing and he had a lot of people that he originally trained to do readings and who helped him build the business. They ended up like going separate ways. And so there is some controversy around him in the community. But I mean, having listened to his lectures, because essentially he's the person that I learned my foundation from, was going through his lectures and his courses. And there is this very grounding presence like in his voice. And it's like the way that he talks and the way that like my body reacted to it, it felt very empowering and not like, this is, danger or this is bad or wrong, but like this guy really knows what he's talking about. And what he's doing is he's empowering people to be themselves and to love themselves and to essentially get the life that they came here to live. And something that I love that he taught is that we're not here to be miserable. Like suffering is inevitable, but it's by not being ourselves and self-abandoning and making choices that, we know we're not supposed to make. That is what causes so much resistance in our life. That is what's harming our spirit. But when we are ourselves, when we're moving through the world as ourselves, then the resistance that we encounter, it's what's meant for us. It's what we are here to learn and grow from. And we're not here to just be this like bogged down, beaten down species, but to be empowered and to live our purpose that we came here to live.
That's so true.
At the very least, I mean, you can say whatever you want about that, about the origin of human design, but also after however many episodes of the podcast, we have come to that conclusion too.
Yeah.
And the real lesson is in the challenges you face. And that can be an exciting thing depending on your mindset when you approach it. It's once again, we've said it a few times about choosing your heart. Do you want to kick and scream the whole way? Or do you want to be like, cool, a new way to like test my theory of how to be myself?
Yeah. When you're not living into your actual human design, that has been really helpful for me to understand.
Right. So at this point, I'm hoping everyone, all the listeners, because this is a deep, deep, deep well.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm hoping all the listeners know that basically the biggest woo red flag, and when I say red flag, I mean like I love woo. But when I was like, oh, this must be woo, is like this is all based off of when and where and what time you were born. And that's like, oh, okay. Well, how much is this possibly going to know? But if you were to ignore that aspect of it and just start reading, you'd be like, oh shit, this really lines up a little too well. There's something spooky going on here. And, it's like if you want to, this is like the ultimate personality test for the woo community, if you will. You go into a corporate, people are going to give you Enneagrams. There's Enneagrams and there's like Myers-Briggs test and all. But this is like the one true test. This is the one ring to rule them all. And it's such a trip.
Yes, absolutely. So essentially human design, it's like giving you your energetic blueprint and a roadmap to align with your life. And so learning your energetic type, that is kind of how you are able to navigate yourself onto your path and stay on it. And then there's other layers beyond that. So the energetic type, there's 5 of them. So there are manifestors, generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. So manifestors are the initiators, and their energy really comes in like bursts, and they can do a lot in a short period of time. And their energy can be a little bit prickly. So it's like their aura is closed. And so that can be triggering for people like parents of manifestors, because they don't have this enveloping aura like generators, for example. And so there can be this distrust with them because they can't really, penetrate them, understand them. And so there's this shadow of manifestors where people want to control them and tell them what to do. But manifestors are really here to be in their own power. They are here to do the things that they're excited about. They're to follow their creative impulses, and to realize that they don't have to keep up with everybody. They need to really honor their rest cycles and trust that when the next creative pulse comes, that one, it's going to come, but if they are well rested, they're going to have the energy to maintain that and to do that. But they aren't, necessarily the builders per se, but they are kind of like, Ra describes them as like a lion, like a male lion. They are the ones that are, they're kind of in charge of the pack, but they're not the ones that are like killing the gazelles. They are the ones that are kind of watching over, protecting everybody. So they're not, in the middle of it all like generators are. And so the thing with manifestors is that whatever they do, it creates an impact and a ripple around them. And so whatever it is that they're here to do, it's going to have an impact. And then manifestors, it's encouraged to keep people informed, because even if it's like a small thing, it could have a ripple around on the people around them that could have a negative impact. And so having very good communication, and as a manifestor, say that you're going to do something before you do it to the people that it could impact. And an example of this, one of my friends, she's a 3/5 manifestor. And one day we were getting ready together, and I was about ready to like go over to this mirror and start using it. And she was like, I'm going to take this mirror down and put it on the floor and get ready because I don't want to stand. And I was like, oh, okay, well then I'll just go use this other mirror. But if she would have just done that when I was planning on using it, it's like I could see how that would cause a little bit like, what are you doing? Like, this is weird. But she was just narrating something before she was going to do it. And she said that she does that all the time. Like, she's at home with her family and she's like, all right, like I'm going to make dinner at this time. And so if I was to give any advice for a manifestor, it's start like narrating your life, like before you do it. Whether it's with your family, with your close friends, like if you are going to do something, I know the creative urge comes over them and they're like, I have to do this right now. But if you could just stop and just inform people before you do it, that it's going to impact, it's going to create so much less resistance in your life, because it's that energetic of their impact in this closed aura that's pushing against you that can be a bit off-putting for other people. They make up about 9% of the world, so they're not super common. They're not the rarest type, but you don't encounter them as often.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence is a manifestor. Sorry.
Jennifer Lawrence, that makes sense. She's so interesting. And also there's something like a little closed about her, like you're saying, where you're like, I like her, but also she seems to be like protecting herself and then like just kind of saying whatever's on her mind.
Interesting.
I believe she's a 5th line too. So there is that projection field as well. And when you have the 5th line, there is this like sense of I need to protect myself because you're so used to people like misperceiving you.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Lyndon and I both have 5s.
Okay.
Our 3-year-old. And our 3-year-old is a 5/1. And yeah, like everyone, he's like very charismatic, and everyone kind of, you can already see it happening that people project onto him. because they're just like,
Yes.
he's so like cool and special and like, I don't know, they want him to be a certain thing. And sometimes he's just like, bye. Or like, no, I'm not going to do that or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So can we talk about generators? Is that the highest population?
Yes.
Okay.
So then there's generators and manifesting generators, and they make up about 70% of the world, but it is like divided where I think there are slightly more manifesting generators. And they had analytics for it. And then I saw there's like a year ago, they came out, they're like, actually, the numbers changed this slightly amount. And I don't remember it off the top of my head, but
that's fine.
So generators and manifesting generators are builders. They are here to learn themselves, master themselves, and build something along the way. But they build it in different ways. So generators are here to really do things step by step by step. Whereas manifesting generators are here to skip to one step and then you go back and then you start mastering them along the way. And so manifesting generators, their lives and their impact that they create is going to be a lot less linear than a manifester. And so, but both types, they are here to master things and to really know themselves. It's just a different path that they're getting in order to go there. But the advice that I give to any generator or manifesting generator, if you're just starting out in human design, it's do something that you are excited about every single day. It can be so easy to get bogged down with all the to-do lists. And the thing with generators is that you guys have so much energy, and so people are used to like expecting things from you. And you feel like, oh, I have this energy, and so I need to give it to this person or this thing, even if it doesn't light you up. But all that is doing is taking from your reserves. And generators are so magnetic. Generators and manifesting generators are so magnetic. This is like the generator world. We are here to build things and to master things. And so the world does cater to them, but there's so many generators that they just become like these servants for other people instead of being able to use their energy in the ways that light them up. Mm-hmm. And when they aren't lit up doing what they're doing, they're not able to access their life force energy. They're just borrowing from it, but they're not like putting it around them in like this magical magnetic way that, draws things into them. So they need to be doing the things that light them up. And if they aren't, it can cause like depression, it can cause sleep problems, it can cause anxiety because you have all of this energy, but it's not being used in the way that you want or need to be using it. So anybody who's starting to come into human design, if they're a generator, I'm like, start using your energy in ways that feel good to you. What lights you up? What makes you excited? What gives you more energy instead of it feels like you're just getting sleepier and sleepier and it's just exhausting you. And I mean, with a generator, like you have this like battery within you, and that's the sacral center is the battery. If you're not using it in ways that feel satisfying to you and completely exhausting yourself at the end of the night, then I mean, that's what's going to cause like the sleep problems, the racing mind. Ra, the founder of Human Design, said the most dangerous like person is a generator who's not using their energy and is instead putting their energy into their mind, because they can just whip it around and just put all of this energy into it in a way that can be really, dysregulating and can really bog them down. Like generators aren't here to think, you're here to do. And you're here to be very in tune with your body and allowing your body to guide you. It's like there is no mind in the generator. I mean, there is in a sense that we need to be able to think and to function in the material plane and in this world, but your guide is your gut. And also your gut and you guys are both emotionally defined. And so your feelings, how you feel about things over time.
This is not the first time I've been called mindless, by the way. So I agree.
This is telling me a lot. Just for our little family unit over here, we've got this almost 8-year-old daughter who at night it's like time to go to bed, and the thoughts she's obsessing about stuff. Yeah. She's a generator. Yeah. So she's just like anxious about stuff and asking questions, and it's like kind of constant reassurance and that kind of thing. And then for us, like, yeah, sometimes we're just so exhausted at the end of the night. One, because we've been like giving our energy, I'm sure, to our kids, which is normal. But then also sometimes like family members need stuff or friends are asking for, especially with this guy, because he can do so many things, asking for like we're putting out our energy to other people sometimes.
And then at the end of the night, you end up with like maybe an hour to do the thing that, okay, I'm going to stop speaking in generalities. I end up with maybe an hour to do the thing that I'm kind of excited about, and it's not enough time and I'm too tired for it.
So I guess like a way that you can kind of bypass that is before you're doing something like for something else or doing something that you don't necessarily want to be doing, try doing something you're excited about first, because it's going to allow you to tap into that energy. And so trying to prioritize your day where the things that you want to do, if you can, doing them first.
That's such a novel concept to me. Maybe because it is because I'm emotionally driven. I tend to like try to go after the things that give me anxiety first. I'm like, all right, I got to get this out of the way. And let me go do this first,
Yeah, but you're constantly doing that.
But then I put all the things that I actually wanted to do last.
Yeah.
And I don't do them.
Yeah.
And that's why at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't do this. I didn't do that.
Sad.
I'm just depressed.
Yeah.
What is life even?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're tribal too. And so when you have tribal circuitry, you are very motivated for the tribe. You're like, I have to take care of the tribe. I have to make sure that everybody's needs are met. And it can be easy to lose your needs in that. But the thing with the tribe is that it needs to be symbiotic. If you're not giving to yourself, you can't be, giving from an empty cup. So it's learning to have that give and take. Like just because you can give and give and give doesn't mean that you have to do that all the time.
That's so hard. I've been told it's hard to be me. And you know who said it? I did.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah, you also have the channel of struggle. And so you're here to really struggle your way through life.
Yeah. I saw that.
And learn what's worth struggling for or not. So.
He's got a new mantra lately that is, what if it was easy?
Well, the thing with the channel of struggle is that it gives you purpose. You realize what's worth struggling for. And it's a very like human channel to have. I mean, you probably get that as a third line too, Lauren. I feel like as a third line, you probably understand that sometimes things just like don't go the way that you expected. Yes. But the channel of struggle, it's like you guys can be very empowering because you can figure out how you're meant to struggle so that you can figure out how to get through struggles and you can then empower other people through their struggles.
Yes.
Right.
But Ra does say, if you're fixing something in the house, don't have a channel of struggle by you because it'll just, you'll end up struggling too.
Oh my God. See?
Why do I can't tell you how many things Frank has accidentally broken because he's just like...
But I'm also the one that's going to fix it.
He's like fixing it, but also like, he's like, well, shit, I just broke this camera.
All the time. It's why I tend to lean towards things that don't break. This is my everyday mug for like 10 years now. And it's metal. I can drop it all I want.
Oh my God.
There you go.
Anyway.
Yeah. So you're evolving. Great. I love it.
That's great. So are manifesting generators like kind of a combo of manifestors and generators, or is it like they're more like generators?
So they are a combination where they still have an impact, and it's recommended to inform people because of that. So what makes somebody a manifestor is they have a motor, so an energy center that's connected to their throat. And so they have a very quick way of speaking. And that motor to the throat is what is causing that impact and that ability to manifest. And so being a manifesting generator means you have a motor connected to your throat. So you have this ability to be really quick with your words and to make a lot of impact around you, but you also have a defined sacral center, which is the generator. So with manifesting generators, not only are you experiencing satisfaction, which is the signpost for generators, but you're also experiencing peace, which is the signpost of manifestors. But it's still, so anger and frustration, that's how manifesting generators can really figure out, okay, am I causing extra resistance in my life? Am I making things harder for myself than I need to? And it's not that, anger or frustration are meant to be avoided at all costs. They're just there to communicate with you, to say, hey, maybe we just need to readjust a little bit. Maybe this is something that didn't feel good and we can learn from that, or we can speak up for ourselves, or, maybe we don't have to do that again. So it's just a way that our energy is communicating with us when we are off course versus like once we are on course.
Okay. That's great.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh. And with any generator or manifesting generator, yes or no questions to help you like get in touch with your sacral, because sometimes you don't know if you have the energy to do something in the moment unless somebody asks you. So like your child, you were saying, if they're going to bed and their mind's racing, maybe during the day, ask them like, is this how you want to use your energy? Do you want to go to the park, or do you want to do this? Instead of having an open-ended question, giving them specifics to respond to and allowing them and yourselves to use your energy in a way that you're like, oh yeah, I want to do this right now.
Okay. That's great.
That makes sense.
And you guys can do that with each other too. Like ask each other yes or no, instead of, what do you want for dinner? Like, do you want Thai for dinner? Do you want pizza for dinner? Like making it where the answer is a yes or no, and you can feel in your body like, ooh, this feels good, or ooh, no, I do not want to do that.
This is great. Maybe this is part of Lauren's human design, but getting Lauren to give a binary answer might be one of the most impossible things on this planet. She will, when you ask her if, like, I don't know how you got through school with is the answer A or B kind of stuff. If she had a chance, she would write in a paragraph instead. Like, dude, you just need to answer the question.
If it had A through E, I would get so overwhelmed. I was also going to say, I think the motor to my throat is a little broken, because sometimes I have a hard time getting a thought out. Like my brain's moving faster and my words aren't as quick. So I don't resonate with that as much, because I'm like, that's other people, it's not me. But yeah, making a decision, that can be challenging. However, you don't ask me a lot of yes or no's.
Oh, no, I do. So if I were to ask Lauren something like, hey, do you like ketchup? It's like, well, with what? And I'm like, no, dude, like,
okay, yeah,
do you
true.
like it? And
I will give a dialogue.
All of Lauren's answers start with well, and it's like, oh no, here we go. Buckle up.
There's a lot of nuance.
There are. And well, your emotional wave, so your motor to your throat is your solar plexus, and it's the channel of transitories, and it's unconscious. And so, which both of you guys actually, your motors are unconscious to your throat. So there could be this, speaking without realizing what you're saying. But I mean, also, Lauren, you both have split definition, but it's like your solar plexus and your throat are connected. And when you have a solar plexus, which is never knows in the now, the solar plexus never knows in the now. And so that is connected to your throat. That is this like, I don't know. Ask me again later.
Yeah.
I am not sure how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Whereas Frank, your sacral, which is very in the now, right now, is what's connected to your throat. So you're like, right now, this is me. This is what I am thinking. This is what I'm feeling. So you are a bit more, even though you're emotional, like when you're speaking, it is from this like empowered state of right now. Whereas Lauren, it's like this kind of confusion. Plus you have the fifth line and there's this paranoia that's like ingrained in you guys to like not say or do the wrong thing because people misinterpret you all the time. So
100%.
It's like you can tend to want to be like really careful with your words and not say something that's going to get you in trouble later.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm very cautious when I speak. And I always say I write, I'm able to get my thoughts out and my words perfectly chosen if I'm writing something. But when I'm saying something, it'll take me a while because I'm like, I gotta choose this. Like, I don't want to, say the wrong thing that ends up getting misinterpreted because I didn't mean it that way. Helpful for you to understand, my dearest darling.
Hold on. I don't want to skip out on projector and reflector.
Yeah. Okay, so can you explain what projectors are?
Yeah, so projectors, they make up about 20% of the population. And so they are, well, like the generators and the manifesting generators, you guys are like the builders of the world, and the manifestors are, kind of like the lions that are watching everything. The projector is like this hawk that's flying, and it's not really in the middle of everything, but it's kind of observing things, and it's seeing from a different perspective what other people aren't seeing. So projectors and generators have a very symbiotic relationship. And projectors didn't start incarnating until the 1700s when we went through this biological shift. And we turned from a manifestor world into this generator world. And the generators, because you guys are so focused on yourselves and you're building things, it's hard to see kind of the bigger picture. And so projectors came in to start to show them a different perspective and to guide the sacral energy into building things and using energy more efficiently. So projectors, any advice that I give someone starting out, it's stop giving unsolicited advice. That's very common. We love to do that, but wait until people recognize you. And then because projectors can really see the other person, we're the only type that's really meant to absorb somebody and focus on them and help guide them. People can really like our energy, and they can want to hold on to us, and they can want to not share our focus and our attention with other people. And so having really good boundaries with others and recognizing if you are over giving to somebody and only getting, breadcrumbs of recognition or breadcrumbs of energy, because projectors, this isn't necessarily a projector world, which as we move into 2027, projectors are then going to the top of the hierarchy as we build this new world or society. It's so easy for us to feel like we don't belong. And so we get so kind of addicted to the sacral energy of the generators around us and kind of just accepting whatever we're given instead of being empowered and saying like, no, enough is enough. Like, this is how you will treat me. And this is how much energy I can give you, and really taking ownership of their own energy. And projectors are very sensitive to their environments and other people. So, taking a lot of showers or baths, going for walks, grounding, we can absorb so much around us. It can be very dysregulating at times. And for projectors, our signature is bitterness versus success. And that is how we can pinpoint, okay, are we off track or are we not on track? And that bitterness, it just cuts you. Nobody wants to be around a bitter projector because they will penetrate into you and put that bitterness into you, and it feels so icky. But then the signpost is when you start recognizing and seeing yourself and realizing your worth, that's when other people can start to see and recognize that too. And that's how you get empowered. That's how, as Ra puts it, an empowered projector, their energy is never the problem. A projector that is, completely operating in a way that is not correct for them, their energy is always going to be a problem. They're always going to be burned out. They're never going to have enough. But if you recognize yourself and you only allow the people who really see you and respect you and give to you into your orbit, your energy is not a problem anymore. And you just slide through life. That is kind of the projector blessing, is when you are correct, things just kind of glide and it gets so much easier.
That's so interesting because I feel like I know a couple of projector types who I've noticed if they outsource their recognition, like they need affirmation from somebody else, it is also never enough. So you're saying, and that can cause bitterness. You're saying that they need to acknowledge their own value, basically.
Absolutely. People can't recognize and see the value of a projector unless they first see that in themselves.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's so, I could imagine that being huge. I mean, that's great advice for anybody, but for someone with that disposition, that's a big deal.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's great.
Well, and as projectors, if they are absorbing people that aren't the correct people for them, that can completely take them off course too. And if you're off course, it's like everything goes wrong for the projector. Like life will just pile on to you because the world needs projectors, and it's going to make you so uncomfortable to try to get you to change. But I mean, there are so many bitter projectors that just want to have their head in the sand and be like, no, like I want to be a generator. I want to be like everybody else. I will just take whatever I'm given. But when you realize that you don't have to just, take and accept whatever you're given, and you can make those terms yourself, there is this empowerment. And also when a projector is empowered, they are so magnetic, just like a generator who's doing stuff that lights them up. They just pull things to them so quickly. The people that they are meant to guide, it's like they are this lighthouse, and in the darkness, and like moths to a flame, people are just like, you are the person that I need to help me, figure this thing out.
That's awesome.
That makes sense for the projectors we know.
That makes so much sense. That's such good advice.
Yeah.
Because I really feel like the projectors, from what I've experienced so far, obviously we talked about like the kind of turmoil I can go through being a manifesting generator and all that. But I feel like you said, like a projector who's not in their comfort zone, in their space, can it seems like it's so debilitating to them. Like it's hard to even like wake up in the morning kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because our energy is dependent on getting energy from the people around us. And we can have defined motors, but if we're going to be consistent with life, if we're going to be able to build a life, we need to have generators around us who see us and recognize us. And we have that symbiotic relationship where they give us energy and we give them guidance.
That's cool. Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Quick question. You mentioned something about a biological shift in the 70s. Huh?
Yeah, the 1700s.
1700s. Yeah. I got the 7 right.
So Ra describes it as we were 7 centers, which, there are the 7 chakra system. And the 7 centers was focused on like mind, survival. But we went through this biological evolution where 2 of the chakras split into 2. And we went from being focused on survival to focused on community and, companionship and not just killing each other. He calls them like killer monkeys, where we started to become humans. And so the heart split into 2. So the heart and the G center, and then the spleen and the solar plexus split into 2.
I mean, it is just chakras, right?
Yeah, it is the chakras, only, two of them split. And so the G center, that's like direction, identity, and then the heart center is ego and willpower. So those used to be connected as one, and then they split. And then the spleen is about survival, whereas the solar plexus is about feeling. And so we began to feel emotions beyond just survival. And so it was with the creation of us becoming, 7-centered to 9-centered that then projectors began incarnating, because they were meant to be the guides of the 9-centered beings.
I want to jump into deeper questions in a second, but I want to go over reflectors first. I don't want any reflectors to feel left out.
Yeah, so I was about to ask.
Yeah, go.
Yes, they so often feel left out because they are less than 2% of the world.
Oh, wow.
And so you don't come across them very often. But they are the only type that is ruled by the moon. So while generators and manifesting generators, their aura is open and enveloping. It feels like this hug. And then manifestors, they're just closed. And then projectors, it points and it absorbs people and kind of takes them on as themselves. Reflectors, their aura is closed like a manifestor, but it samples people and things. But they are here to really be in the middle of the room, in the middle of it all. And they absorb all of the energy around them. And so that they can collectively be like, okay, this is off. So like if you have a company or a family and there's a reflector, if the reflector is like freaking out, there's going to be energy that's like off for, whatever reason. So they're like this barometer of energy.
Are they the canary in the coal mine of humans?
Yeah, that's a great analogy for sure. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's your brother. He's the one reflector we know.
I gotta put my brother in a cage and bring him around everywhere I go. I'm like, dude, are we safe here?
But like, he's all about vibes.
He is all about vibes. He's like, and he's a man of few words too. He'll be like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm like, listen to what he said.
And he doesn't like too much like confrontation or conflict. He will like walk out if the generators are arguing or getting heated or whatever. He's like, I'm not involved.
Oh,
he comes back once there's jokes to be made.
Like a projector, they, absorb one person, which at a time, which can be overwhelming. The reflector absorbs everything around them. So it's almost like they have this this aura that's kind of like the generator and the manifestor, where it's like, open and encompassing, and they're just absorbing everything. And being in the right environment is everything for a reflector. Like if they are not in the correct environments for them, everything goes wrong and they can become so disappointed and they can experience all of the other signposts. So anger, frustration, bitterness, and they can become so rigid in their thinking, and so like ingrained in like society and like this is how things need to be, because they really just morph into the environments that they are. And so like they can be some of like the most cutthroat people, or they can be some of like the most expansive and happy and light people. It just really depends like who's around them and what environments are they in. And then, with reflectors, being ruled by the moon, their authority is lunar. So whenever it comes to making a decision, it's like they have to wait pretty much a full like 28 days to make a decision and to really feel it out and know if it's correct for them. And so for any reflector who's getting into human design, my advice is start tracking the moon and seeing how it affects you, because the thing with reflectors is as the moon shifts, they become a manifestor and a generator and a manifesting generator and a projector throughout the course of the month. And it's only by experimenting and sampling all of that energy throughout the entire wheel that they can be like, this is my clarity, or this is not my clarity. And so they're really here to kind of slowly move through life and to try and, create a life that's going to allow them to slow down, or else then they're going to get upset and be very stickler about things.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm obviously not a reflector, so I'm not going to fully resonate with that, but I would imagine that there would be a pain point here of self-identity. Like, that sounds difficult. Like, if you are capable of inheriting all these vibes and mindsets around you, like, and you come home and you're by yourself for a minute, who am I? You know, like, or is it like the reflection after a full 28 days? And that, is there like a moment of clarity where you're like, I see, like, let me reflect on these past weeks?
So it's interesting you said that, because a few days ago, I had a reflector comment on one of my videos on TikTok, and she was saying, I wish that I could be the same, and I wish that I had this like set identity. But the thing with reflectors is that is their superpower, is that they're not here to be the same. And really, anybody who has an open G center, so that's the diamond shape in the middle of the chart, they are here to be a chameleon, and they are here to change and to not really be consistent in their identity. And so there is this one end of the spectrum where you could be like, wow, I wish that I was different. But the thing with human design is, it's like, no, this is who you are, and this is who you're supposed to be. And so you don't need to be different. And when you are different, that is what is like, or when you're not allowing yourself to be yourself, that is what's going to cause resistance into your life. And it's really by being you that you learn to really start to love you and to trust yourself and to appreciate what you are. Reflectors are so rare, and that is, a big role for them to take, to be the barometer of the room. And so, I think if the reflector is really honoring their energy, not burning themselves out, allowing themselves to be in environments that feel good to them, they'll see that this is actually a superpower. Nobody can do what a reflector does but them. And they have so much value to bring. They can feel and see things way before anybody else can.
It's so funny. Yeah. Like, my relationship with my brother specifically is, I'm a manifesting generator. And as we discussed earlier, I cause my own problems and I fix them. And I'm going around being a little chaotic and like fixing it. And I'm like, oh, but I have this idea and I want to start this, but I got to follow my heart. It's over here. And then my brother comes around and he's like, hey. And I'm like, yeah, I want some of that. And he's my younger brother too. So it's like, I've already told him, like, I look up to my younger brother because I'm like, I want some of that calm assessment. And it's such a cool thing to have. And if you're comfortable with that calm assessment and that being different things and being exactly what you need at that time in that space, like, I could see that being an incredible superpower.
Yeah, they're invaluable for sure. And they're all like old souls. Every reflector I've encountered, I'm like, you've seen some lives.
Yeah.
Like, you are not like other people.
That's so interesting.
That sounds true.
So can we now, I'll let you decide what's best, Lauren, other Lauren, not wife Lauren, someone else's wife Lauren.
We can do profile. So while your energy type is meant to like get you onto the path and allow you to see like when you're veering off of it or not, your profile is like your archetype. That's the role that you're here to play in life. And then your incarnation cross, that's your purpose that just plays out whether you want it to or not.
Thank you for listening. Visit clairvoyaging.com for merchandise or to access free resources to help you on your spiritual journey. Subscribe to our Patreon for more content or join for free to chat with us. Clairvoyaging is a fiscally sponsored project of Fractured Atlas, a 501c3 charity. Make a tax-deductible donation to support our mission to foster understanding, respect, and curiosity for diverse spiritual belief systems. Clairvoyaging is a production of Wayfeather Media.